All right. So as shown to you on the screen, you can see that I have some options getting displayed on the screen. So what are these options? 1, 2, all these options. These are different boxes. Okay. And such a collection of colors, right? So one thing is that you can set colors to any of the HTML element using CSS. You have seen a button, right? So when we are using a regular button, the background will come in a gray color. You can also change the background of a button using CSS color properties. Similarly, you can provide the color to a text box also using the CSS color property. So you can make it more interesting using color properties, right? And more expressive. So when we want to make any design of a website, what is important, guys? The view of your website, the design of your website, everything is very important, right? So here the color combination also plays very important role when you want to go with any of the design properties, right? So now I told you in yesterday's class also that it has got so many things like what all we can do with the CSS colors. So we can add color for the background, okay? So that background you can add to the entire body or the specific elements, okay, or specific HTML elements. So make a note or make clear that what is a HTML element, right? So what is HTML element, guys? Each individual unit, right? So each individual unit of your HTML code is called as what? It is called as an element. Okay, so each individual whatever code you are going to see or whatever data you are going to see inside the tag, it will be called as what? Specific HTML element. So you can apply the backgrounds, you can apply the background image, you can apply the background colors, you can apply animations to everything, right? Now let us go to the code directly. So I will go to the code part. So I have designed a code for all the CSS properties, right? So we have the first property, we will see background color. So the first property is called as what? Background color, right? So how to write this property, guys? Simply you have to take a background, that is BACK, okay? Just spell it with its spelling, that is BACKGROUND, background. Okay, so what you want to do with the background, whether you want to set an image or whether you want to set a color. So if you want to set a color, you have to give -COLOR. The spelling of the color you have to make clear, right? If you want to set an image, you can go for what? Image. Okay, we will see image also. So let us see the background color property. So today we are seeing the CSS color properties, guys. Yesterday we saw CSS font properties. So today we are going to see another class of CSS, that is CSS background, or that is CSS color properties. Okay. So in exam, if they will ask you to explain about CSS colors, you can explain these properties. All right. Okay. Now let me go to the code quickly. So here I have a file actually. So let me display that file for you. Okay. Okay. So we have two files. I have taken two examples. Let us go to the first example now. See, so what I'm doing, doc type HTML. Okay, you can keep it as an optional or you can write HTML, right? Okay, so take a first line, that is a doc type HTML, because we are writing it into the HTML file. If you're writing XHTML, we have to write a header of XHTML. So here I'm writing in HTML, so I'm taking doc type HTML. Okay, then after that I'm opening an HTML and I'm opening a body tag, and inside body tag I'm applying that to heading H1. So which kind of CSS it is? It is internal CSS, isn't it? Because I am writing that, okay, within what, guys? I am writing the code within the body, right? So this is not exactly an internal also. This is called as an inline CSS. Why it is called inline CSS? Who will tell me? It is inline CSS. Can you see what is inline? Where I want the style, I will apply the property.
H1.
Yes. Yes, tell me. Okay, why it is inline, guys? It is inline because you can see that first thing I am writing that within the body tag. First thing what I'm doing, I'm writing that within the body tag. I'm not writing it into the header tag. If anything comes into body tag, which is a part of CSS, it is inline CSS. Remember that, okay? If it comes in the head tag, it is internal CSS. And if it comes in the other file and you're importing that into other file, that is external CSS. So this is inline CSS. Why guys? Because I'm writing, okay? I'm writing the code inside the body tag. I'm applying the style wherever I need. So here I'm not taking help of any what? A class, or I'm not taking help of what? Any ID. I'm directly taking style. So what does that style indicates? I'm doing an inline CSS. When the keyword style is used, what it indicates? It is inline CSS. Inline means what? On which line I want to apply the property. That is an inline CSS. All right. And where we are applying this? We are applying for H1 guys. Okay. We are applying that for H1. Right. Okay. Now what I'm doing? I'm taking style, background color. Okay. I already told you the format. How to write? First write a double quote, background color. Okay. Now see, there are different ways, isn't it, of writing the properties. How you are writing the background color property? You are opening a double quote here. First open a double quote and then write the property, that is background hyphen color. Okay, this is the property. Then you are going to write a colon. After writing colon, you are writing the color name. So you can write any color name, not like you have to take these only, but these are some colors which are used on technically, some websites are using these colors: tomato, orange, dogger blue, medium sea green, gray, slate blue, violet, light gray. You can take colors of your own choice. No need to by heart the colors, right? Okay, you can take any. And I have taken 6 to 7 to show you different colors. In exam, you can write only 2 colors, or only 1 color is also okay. Okay, is it right? So I have shown you because it is an example and I need to show you different colors. That is why I have taken multiple H1. You can write only 1 or 2 H1 statements in exam, right? Now, how you are closing this? You are closing this with semicolon followed by double quote. Okay, you are adding a semicolon followed with the double quote. Now, what is this tomato? It is my element of H1 tag. Element in the sense I am going to display that text on the screen. Okay, fine. So in this way, what I'm doing, I'm taking 7 H1 tags, and the name of my file is CSS background color. Okay, so let us run it now. You know that how do we run it? We usually, I store all the files in G drive, WP division A. Okay, and then the file name is background color. I will double click that, and immediately what is going to happen? It is going to show me the output into the browser, right? See, this is how the output is expected, guys. Isn't it interesting? It is interesting, right? So in this way, you can add colors wherever you want, right? So this is H1 heading tag, orange, dodger blue, gray, slate yellow, violet, and light gray. So in this way, you can add background, okay, or you can use the background property. Clear to you? Now let me show you one more example. That is background one. I have created one file which is called as a background1.html. So you can apply backgrounds to any element. What I told you, you can apply background colors for H1, okay, for paragraph. You can apply that for button. You can apply that for text box, right? You can apply anywhere. The one advantage of CSS is that you can apply the set of properties anytime and anywhere, right? Now I'm telling you one more example for background color, guys. So you can refer this example in the exam. If you feel it is small one, you will also get marks for this, right? So how I'm doing, this is also example of inline CSS, guys. So what I'm doing, I'm going inside the body tag. I'm writing H1 style is equals to background color, dodger blue, complete the semicolon, and then the double quote. Do not give any space while writing this, okay? And all will be in the lowercase letter. Color name you can write as you wish. Capital may likho, small may likho, code may likho, it is okay. Now what is the element? The hello word is the element of H1 tag. I want to display that on the screen. Now one more thing I'm taking, that is a paragraph. I want to apply paragraph style is equals to background color tomato, and then this is my text. Hello, how are you? Have a nice day, right? Then close this p tag, okay? Because a lot of text is here. After that, you close it here. H1 you close it here. Then you go for a body tag, and then you go for closing of HTML tag, right? Let me run the code for you. Name of this file is background one. So background1.css, okay. And let me show you the output screen. So this is my output screen where you can see hello world, okay, which is coming in the blue, which is H1. So that color is filled for the entire height. H1 height is nearly 40 to 60 pixels. So 60 pixels of color is filled in that entire H1. Okay. So hello, how are you? Have a nice day. This is my paragraph. So you can also apply the background color for the paragraph. Are you getting that? So this is not possible only using HTML code, guys. If I want to apply background colors for each different tags in the HTML, it is not possible quickly using only HTML code. That is the reason we have to go to CSS properties. Once when you create that CSS file, what is going to happen? After creation of that file, you can go forward multiple screens. Once you create it, and then you can start using on multiple files. You can adopt that for the multiple files. All right. Okay. Now let me go to the another property. Another property is background image, guys. Okay. So here I am writing this using inline internal CSS. See, when it is in the head tag, head, style, body, background image, okay, URL, HTML ping. So I complete the style tag, I complete the head tag. Okay. So this is which type of CSS, guys? This is called as what? Internal CSS. So why I am giving you a multiple type of code, because CSS is very important and you should understand how to write external, how to write internal, how to write inline. So which is most popularly used is external CSS. Why? Once you create that external CSS and then you keep on importing into different HTML files. What is the advantage of that? One advantage is that if you make changes in that .css file, that will get applied to the .html file also. And we are doing that when we are designing the websites. We are using external CSS when we are designing the websites. So when you are doing the programming or when you are doing any small kind of files, then you can go with the internal CSS. Inline CSS कब लिखना है आप लोगों को? जब भी you feel that yes, with this paragraph I want to apply the style. So there you can write the inline CSS. So inline CSS you are writing in the body tag and you are writing within the tag. Okay. Okay, this is an internal CSS here, isn't it? And what I'm using, which selector form I'm using? I'm using specific selector form, isn't it? Specific selector form. Remember this, when you're writing CSS, you should know what is the form and what is the type of CSS. So here you can see I'm using an internal CSS. Why internal CSS? Because it is within the head and the style tag. Okay. Why selector form? Because I'm applying the properties to the body tag. Is it clear? Okay. So I'm writing the properties to the body tag. That is why it is called as what? It is called as a specific selector form. Okay, guys. Now see, I complete that style tag, I complete that head tag, and then I open my body tag here and H1, hello world, and for paragraph, this page has an image as the background. So whenever you see that the body tag is coming, what is going to apply? All these properties are going to get applied. Okay, what is going to get applied, guys? Here you can see that all this entire image, background hyphen image, URL, HTML ping. One more thing you have to remember here is, I will tell you that, see, want to add, yes, yeah, any queries? Okay, see. So when I want to add an image, I have to take background hyphen image. Wherein, if you write it in the style tag, what you see, style is equals to double quote. Here you have to write double quote. After semicolon, you have to complete the double quote. That is the format when you are writing that in the style tag. Okay. Now, what is the format you are using here? Opening bracket and closing bracket and the specific tag. Inside that, no semicolons are used. Directly write the property background hyphen image, okay, colon, and you have to compulsorily write this format. Compulsorily, you have to write this URL is a keyword here. Okay. So what is URL? URL is a keyword here. So what is a keyword, you know, right? So keyword is nothing but the reserved word which you need to use in the same way. So URL means uniform resource locator. So uniform resource locator means what, guys? This is deciding the path of the file which you want to add as an image. So I want to add an HTML.ping image. Compulsorily, this image should come in the double quote and the brackets. This is the format when you want to set a background image. This is the fixed format, guys. Okay, only the name of your file is going to change, but this is the fixed format. Remember that. Okay, so when I want to add this background image, what is going to happen? Here, you just take html.png. Okay, html.png. After that, what will happen when you call a body tag? All that properties will get applied to this internal body. Okay. Now let me run the code for you. Name of my file is a background image. Okay. So once when you run that file, see, this is the output, guys. What you're expected. This is the output. Okay. All right, so this is the output. I have taken an image. See, hello world is there. This page as an image as the background. So that is covered into the entire background when it is applied to the body tag. Okay, so you can also take a background image inside the body tag itself. Okay, but you can use a background image for other elements like buttons and paragraphs also, guys. Okay. For example, let me make one small change and I will show you that. Suppose I want this to apply only for the paragraph. Suppose here you take p tag. If you want to apply that only to the paragraph tag, what you do here. See, suppose if I want to apply to the paragraph tag, what I will do, I will take small p, okay, and then I will write background image. For that paragraph, I want to apply an image. So where I'm taking, I have just gone back to the code. And here you can see that if I want to apply that only to the paragraph, not to the entire body. If I want to apply background image to the paragraph, what I will do? I will take a p tag. Okay, I will apply that to the paragraph tag. If I want to apply to H1, I can take an H1 tag. Is it clear? Now I want to apply the image only for paragraph tag. So what I have done, I have removed body tag and I had went, guys, back to paragraph tag, and then this is the image which appears for the paragraph tag. See, this is the expected output. When I'm applying the image for the paragraph, what it is doing, that image will get applied to the paragraph. Okay, that image will get applied only to the paragraph, guys. Is it clear? It depends upon the size of the paragraph. The size is only, I think it is 16 pixels. That is why the image is covered within the 16 pixels. If the size of the paragraph, if the content of the paragraph is more, what is going to happen? Definitely it will cover more portion of the image. So in this way, guys, what you can do, you can add the background images. So due to pandemic, we are unable to just practice it in the lab. It is very interesting to do in the lab actually. Okay, not an issue. You will get time. Whenever you get time, you do it. So what is the first property? Background color. Background color, what you can do is background color. You can apply. First property that we saw is a background. Okay, color. Okay, background color. Another property is a background image, right? Yes. Now let us go to the another property, guys. Let us see what is a border color. What happens with the bordering and what we can do with the border colors, right? Because if you take a text box, if you take a button, normally it will come in the black and white only. If we want to add colors to the table border, or when we want to add colors to the text background or border for the text, we can easily do that with another property of CSS, okay, which is called as a CSS border, right? Now let me tell you that property. Okay, see. So here we are again writing the code using inline CSS. You can see that I have HTML, I have body. H1 style is equals to, this is an inline CSS. I'm applying the border for H1. That's why it is inline. I'm writing the code inline. Okay. See here, guys. If I want, this is my inline CSS, right? If I want to write a code as internal, how will I convert this? I will take HTML. I will take head tag, isn't it? If I want to write it, please concentrate all of you. If I want to write it using internal CSS, what I will do? I will take H1. Okay. I will take a bracket. right? And then I will take border, then I will take colon, then I will take 2 pixels. Okay, I will give semicolon, and then I will complete the bracket. Then what I will do, I will complete the bracket. Huh? So what is this? If I write in this style and then I complete the style, okay, I complete my style tag, style, style, then I complete my head tag, okay, and then after that I open my body tag, okay, and then what I will do, I will write h1 and I will write hello. I close my h1 tag here, okay, and then I close my body, okay, and then I close my html, right? So what is this now? This is called as an internal css. Okay guys, this way of writing is called as internal css. Now I'm using h1. H1 is a specific tag, isn't it? So h1 is called as a specific selector form here. Are you getting? If I give dot here, it will become what? Class selector form, and I have to use a keyword called as a class here. Okay, class is equals to, what is the name of my class now? H1. Okay, and class name you can give any. There's no restriction that tag name you have to give. So if I make it a class selector form, I have to use a dot. Okay, if I make it as what? Paragraph ID selector, I have to take it as a hash, and here I have to use it as what? Para. Is it clear? Is it clear? So how to write internal CSS and how to use different selector forms. Okay, it's very important, right? Now I'll just remove this part of code. And now this is which type of CSS, guys? It is inline CSS. You are writing that for H1. You are applying that for H1 internally. So what I'm doing, I'm directly taking style. I'm taking a property called as what? Border. Okay, I'm taking a property saying a border, and how to write the border color. If you want to apply border size as well as color, how you're writing that, the property is very, very important, guys. Okay, see the property, how to write it. You have to write the property as border colon 2 pixels. Only when you want to set the thickness for the border. If you want to set the thickness as well as color for the border, you can write it like 2 pixels. Okay, you have to write it as a 2 pixels solid tomato. That is the name of a color. So if you get confused for this, you use only single color, for example, red. Okay, and then complete the semicolon and then complete the double quote. If you want to set what, guys? If you want to set the border as well as if you want to set the pixels. Or you can also use like this. You can use border hyphen co lor color colon red. You can also use this property. Okay. But here what I have done in my code, I have done it on a single line. I am directly going forward single line. Okay. That is style border. I have taken 2 pixels. One is a red color, one is a blue color, and another is a violet color. Okay. Now let us run the code, guys. Name of my file is CSS border color. Okay. Now when I run it, I just see this output, guys. One in a red color, another in a blue, and another in a purple or a violet color. Who will decide the size of this border? Thickness is 2 pixels. Thickness is 2 pixels, but the size is big. Why? Because hello world is printed using H1. The size of H1 or the height of H1, this text is 60 pixels. Therefore, the box is coming big. So if you have a big size of a font, the bigger, what happens? You will get a broader text. If you take only regular text, it will come so small, right? It is only 16 pixels. But when I want to display that in a big, or you want to display a large font, what you're going to do? If I want to display a large font, what you're going to do? You're going to do that with the help of the H1. If I take H1, automatically what will happen, guys? Automatically it will take the larger size. Okay, so this is the next property, that is what? CSS border color. Is it clear? Okay, that is CSS border color, right? Now let me go back to one more file. We will see if we could manage the time here. Okay, see. So guys, we will see one more format, which is called as what? CSS box model. So this question, now we are done with CSS, this one, guys. CSS background, we are done with that. Okay, students, we are done with the CSS background properties. We are seeing one new question here. That new question is a CSS box model, which will be asked for you for 5 marks. So out of this CSS fixed questions will come, that I will give you. So fixed questions will come. Now we are going to see what a box model. Okay, what is a box model? Okay, so this is the code for the box model. Let me run this and let me tell you what is a box model first. Okay, so I have saved it using boxmodel.html. Let me run this code for you. Okay, so I have saved it as boxmodel.html. So after completion of CSS unit, guys, I will share you a zip file of all the code. And what you do, that zip file you can directly place on your computer and run the programs. We'll talk about it later. Okay, see, this is called as a CSS box model. What is a CSS box model? Box model means what? Suppose you want to create one web page and you are deciding the size of your data. Okay, you are deciding the size of your data. It means same web page if you display on the different screens like laptop, or if you display that on tab, or if you display that on a big monitor screen, if you display that on a projector, or if you display that on the big TV screens or the computer or the laptops. Okay, so that time you are using this model, that is a box model. Okay, so what this box model will do, guys? This box model is essentially a box that wraps around the HTML element. So what we have, life is a beautiful when you are loved. So this is the element of my HTML. This is the content of my HTML code. Element means what? The content which I am displaying within the tag with the help of a body tag. So CSS box model is going to wrap your all text at one point. Okay, it consists of border, padding, margins, and all the actual content. So you can see here, one outer border is coming. Then this inner area is also there, which is called as a padding, and this is my content. Okay, so we are using this format when we want to display our text on any of the website. Okay, now let me show you the code. So how I am writing that? I am writing that code within the div tag. Okay, make a note. We are writing that using the div tag. So what div tag is doing? Whatever you pass inside this div tag, okay, that will be applied, okay, to only that content, which content you are going to take inside. So using div tag, div is one tag. Okay, so see, background color I have taken as a light gray. Okay, then width you are taking as a 300 pixels. Width for what? Width for that division, width for that paragraph. So border I am taking 15 pixels, green. Padding is 50 pixels. What is padding, guys? Do you remember cell padding and cell spacing? Cell spacing means the spacing between the cells. What is cell padding? Space between the border and the content. Border of the cell and the content, that is called as a padding. Do you agree? So here I have a border of 15 pixels. So within the border and within the content, what we have a distance of 50 pixels, that is called as a padding. Margin means what? Margin at the right, left. Okay, by default it is applied to all the four corners of the div tag. Margin on all the sides it is 20 pixels. Okay, now see. So what we are doing here now, we are writing the, this is which type of CSS? Tell me quickly, which type of CSS? Which type of CSS? See, it is within style and within the head. It means it is internal, isn't it? Now I am writing the body tag, I am writing the H2 tag, I am writing the P tag. Okay, so while writing P tag, what I am doing? This box model is essentially a box that wraps around the element. So you are writing all the properties here. You are writing all the set of properties which will get applied to the specific content. Okay, which will get applied to the specific content. So this model is called as what? Box model. So when you run this, you will see that all the contents, right? So we have, this is a padding, 50 pixels. This is a padding, the distance between your cell and your content. Okay, that is called as a padding. What is this? This is your border, which is of 300 pixels, I guess, isn't it? And the color is green. Okay, so in this way you can decide the format, or you can add fixed type of format to your web pages using the box model. Okay, guys. Okay, so let me quickly go back to your notes. If possible, today I will share it. I am not sharing because I still want to frame the questions. all answers are available, but I need to give you the questions, guys. So that is why still I have not shared it. Just give me a minute, I will share it quickly with you. Okay, so we have left with 3.36 minutes. Huh? Okay, hope you all have entered your attendance also. Okay, so this is what we learned today, CSS colors. Okay. Okay, so this is a background, what we learned about background color. This is about applying the background color for different elements. Okay, then this is a text color, how to deal with the text color, right? See, so I've not shown you this, right? So text color you can directly take using what color? Okay, you can directly take using color. So text color I will show you in the next class. Text color. This is a border color. Just now we saw that border color. Okay. So in the next class, we will go with the least properties. Okay. And then I told you about what the box model, right? So this is the box model. Okay. Yeah. So we will once again see that. See. So when it comes to CSS background properties, we have to apply background sets all the background properties. Background attachment, you can also attach the file. Background color, you can set the color, background image, background position, and background repeat. So these are the CSS background properties. So commonly used are background, okay, background color and background image. You can write examples only for background, background color, and background image. No need to write any examples on attachment, position, and repeat. Okay. So whatever is given in the notes, you can refer that. Is it clear, guys? Okay. So just try to remember the code. It is very important. Again, I will see whether I can reduce the code. I will just see that before sharing the notes. Okay. But please study it in a detailed way. Do not skip any code. Okay. And if you do not understand, I'm always available for all of you to discuss. Okay. All right. So this is all for today, guys.